In this course we're going to focus on team growth. Not flash in the pan, a one-time increase in your team size that's difficult to repeat or sustain, but growth that continues and just becomes a normal part of your business. We're going to look at creating it, and then we're going to look at how to support it so that it keeps going and it stays strong. I'm going to assume that you're already doing a good number of parties each week and you're seeing plenty of people, and that you've got the basic party plan skills of booking, hostess coaching, recruiting and sales working well for you. Of course, this may not be the case, but you do need to know that in order to create a fast-growing, strong team, you need to have the basic skills sorted out. This is always going to be a work in progress, as we always work to improve our basic skills anyway, but we're not going to be talking about any of these basics in this course. There are two very important concepts that we need to keep in our minds as we go through the information that I want to present in this course. And the first one is duplicatability. It's such a buzzword for our industry, and one that you could get sick of hearing, but you only hear it as often as you do because of how important it is. Party Plan is one business where being a copycat is not a bad thing. In fact, it's a great thing. We want to copy things that work well for others, and we want to encourage others to copy things that work well for us. Everything we do, we need to try and find a way to make it duplicatable. And I'm not meaning we're trying to make little mini-me's who are small clones of ourselves. I'm meaning that we need to create systems that anybody could pick up and use successfully while still being able to inject their own personality and their own flavour into it. The system needs to work for you independently of your personality. If you're someone that's naturally got an infectious personality and people just join you, that's really wonderful, but you can't teach that to people with different personalities to you. You still need to be able to work out what it is that's working and somehow make it something you can pass on to others to use. So as you have leaders coming through, they use the same system and then they pass it on to their own emerging leaders. And all the while, everyone uses the tools but keep their own personality and their own flavour. And your business can grow deep down the line and remain very strong. Now the second concept is one that I've spoken about in the 5 things you must do to be outrageously successful course, which is that we need to start using the 3 times bigger lens. This means we need to grow into our systems, not out of them. So if we start with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey teaches us, we'll think about how big the business is that we're going for. So let's say 3 times bigger than what we have now. And then we'll behave as if we're already there. We'll continually ask ourselves, if my business is 3 times bigger, is this how I would do this particular task? And if not, how would I do it? And can I do it like that now? This is going to help us avoid the horrible growing pains that happen when our systems stop working because of growth. So this is big picture thinking, and even if you're still waiting to recruit your very first person, there is nothing wrong with big picture thinking. It's where we're going that's important, not where we are right now. Please make sure that you still continue to spend most of your time out there talking to people though, especially if your team is small. So don't get tricked into staying in your office, developing a huge system and using this as a way to avoid phone calls and meetings. There's no point building a system that nobody's going to use. So you don't have to build everything at once. It doesn't have to be perfect when you start off. Just do it as you go and then go back and improve on it next time. Something else that I feel is important, which could be a new idea to you if you've already got a team, it's the importance of working with everyone in your team, regardless of whether they're personally recruited or whether they're 5 levels deep. I found it was important to support everyone. They've all got dreams and goals, and anyone who wants to get somewhere and is willing to work for it is worth your time. But there's another good reason as well to support people down the line, and it's more of a business reason, and that is that it actually makes your business stronger overall. So to explain, here's Mary, and here's her team. Now Mary's recruited 2 people directly, and one of those, Susan, has recruited someone else, Ninja Nelly, who has in turn recruited someone else, Lorna. And none of these people are leaders. They've not learnt the best way to support people yet, and they should be focused on improving their basic party plan skills instead of leadership. It would be a mistake for Mary only to focus on her personal recruits, because the others are then left in limbo land. Now once somebody becomes a leader, then they can all look after their teams, but before that it doesn't matter how far down the line you go, they are all your personal team. They're your personal business. Now what if Susan here quit? And if nobody had been helping the people below her, they will all leave as well. And what if out of all of these people, the only one who really wanted to go for it and work hard was Ninja Nelly? If you were working with everyone in your group and Susan leaves, you're still left with a team. Now what's interesting is that as you work with everyone, maybe you find that Lorna here starts to do really well, and Susan and Nellie, that they're just plodding along. But because Lorna's doing well, Nellie realises she should do more so she can benefit fully from Lorna's work. As Susan sees Nellie do that, and she decides she should do the same thing. Suddenly your business is looking so much stronger than it did a second ago. Now, many party planners believe that their personal recruits should be treated differently, and I disagree. I'd be interested in your comments, but those are my thoughts, and that's what worked well for me. So in this course, in week 1, we're going to be looking at some ways of increasing your team size quickly with some ideas that will work, they can be repeated, and they are duplicatable. Then we're going to talk about how to get new people that join hitting the ground running, enjoying success quickly, and loving being in your team so much they don't want to leave. So again, that's about systems so that you can take the thinking out of things and just follow the system, and other people can do that as well. From there, we're going to look at how to help existing people in your team, some team activities that can help with growth, and how to monitor your business so you know what's happening, and more importantly, you know what's going to happen. So there's a lot to cover, and it's going to be really important for everyone that we all share whenever we can to help each other out with more ideas beyond what I'm presenting here. When you put some of these ideas into action, you're going to get results, and these could be great, or maybe they could turn out to not be as good as you'd hoped. Everything that happens is learning, and by discussing them, you're going to go so much further than you possibly could have just by absorbing the material. There are plenty of good ideas out there that we can add to this course, and it'll just become richer and richer the more people participate. So please take part. You're going to get out of it many more times than you put in, and I look forward to working with you as you work through the material.